and Money Talk on Atlantic Television Network. Good day, viewers, and welcome to a fresh episode of Atn Business on Atlantic Television Network right here in the city of Port Harcourt. This is the network's medium of bringing the happenings in the economy sector of society to our discerning viewers. This program is aimed at bringing to the doorstep of viewers the business, financial, and economic activities from all strata of our society. Its deliveries are centered through the various stock exchanges across the world, news about government economic activities, private sector business activities, laced with expert opinions, stakeholders analysis, and correspondence reports. The headlines. NAIC provides 1.01 trillion naira insurance cover to farmers. NRC stakeholders propose privatization to curb train derailments. U.S. Treasury yields Fed speakers under investor scrutiny. U.S. petroleum high imports amid lukewarm domestic crude demands. By the end of this show, you can be rest assured of being informed accurately of financial activities around the world. I am your host for today, Susan Abbey. We'll take a short break, and when we return, we'll reel out the details. So stay tuned.
Every day, our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics.
Nobody's ambition is what's the blood.
I have fought very firmly.
Natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody, and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable
you human trafficker.
Honorable they are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
So no agreement with the EU, but
beyond the line, across the ocean, to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara. We bring on sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
Every day, our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics,
Nobody's ambition is what the blood.
I have fought a very family.
natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody, and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable
You human trafficker.
Honorable
You are a human
They are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
So no agreement with the EU, but
Welcome back, and now let's go into market reports, local and international business news for today. The Nigerian Agricultural Insurance Corporation, NAIC, has made substantial strides in bolstering the agricultural sector, marking a pivotal movement in Nigeria's quest for food security and economic resilience. In a landmark announcement from Abuja, NAIC's Managing Director, Mrs. Folashade Joseph, disclosed that the corporation has provided a staggering 1.014 trillion naira in insurance coverage to the agricultural sector over the past 5 years. This significant investment underscores NAIC's pivotal role in safeguarding the livelihoods of farmers and ensuring the stability of Nigeria's agricultural economy. Addressing a delegation from the United Arab Emirates UAE, Mrs. Joseph emphasized the far-reaching impact of NAIC's initiatives, which have benefited approximately 1.25 million farmers across the nation. The corporation's proactive approach also included the collection of 8.56 billion naira in insurance premiums during this period, highlighting its financial commitment to supporting agricultural enterprises amid various challenges. NAIC's efforts extend beyond mere financial support. Mrs. Joseph highlighted that the corporation has disbursed 3.08 billion naira to settle claims and conducted extensive sensitization programs reaching over 516,000 farming communities. These programs play a crucial role in enhancing awareness about risk management and insurance benefits among agricultural stakeholders. The corporation remains steadfast in its mission to enhance agricultural productivity, achieve food security, and contribute to Nigeria's overall growth, Mrs. Joseph affirmed. She underscored NAIC's dedication to minimizing risks associated with agricultural investment, thereby fostering a conducive environment for sustainable agricultural development. Aligning with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's renewed hope agenda, NAIC's programs are strategically designed to support key national priorities, including economic growth, job creation, poverty eradication, and inclusive development across all sectors. Mrs. Joseph emphasized NAIC's readiness to collaborate with UAE authorities in adopting cutting-edge technologies such as hydroponics, vertical farming, and controlled environment agriculture. These innovations are pivotal in enhancing agricultural efficiency and resilience in Nigeria. Mrs. Joseph further expressed NAIC's commitment to supporting initiatives that promote agricultural development and strengthen food security. We are eager to engage in constructive dialogues with UAE counterparts to explore mutual opportunities, she stated. This partnership, she believes, will leverage collective strengths to achieve significant strides in agricultural development and food security objectives in both nations. In response, Khalid Al-Manei, CEO of UAE Vice President Office for Political Affairs, affirmed their delegation's interest in forging robust partnerships with Nigerian stakeholders, particularly in strategic sectors like agriculture. He highlighted the UAE's commitment to fostering mutually beneficial cooperation through bilateral agreements aimed at advancing economic ties and agricultural innovation between the two countries. As Nigeria and the UAE embark on these collaborative efforts, Mrs. Joseph expressed optimism about overcoming the challenges posed by food security. Together, through innovative strategies and strategic collaboration, we can ensure safe and nutritious food for our citizens, she concluded. This landmark meeting between NAIC and the UAE delegation marks a significant step towards enhancing agricultural resilience, promoting economic growth, and strengthening bilateral relations. Stay tuned as we continue to monitor and report on these developments shaping Nigeria's agricultural landscape and global partnerships. In an effort to bolster financial transparency, accountability, and efficient revenue management, the federal government recently convened a significant stakeholder engagement meeting in Abuja. Chaired by the Honorable Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Mr. Wale Edun, the meeting focused on the implementation of a robust revenue assurance and central disbursement solutions framework. This initiative targets federal government ministries, departments, agencies, MDAs, and government-owned enterprises, aiming to streamline financial operations and ensure judicious handling of public funds. At the heart of this initiative is the deployment of a central revenue system envisioned to revolutionize how revenues are managed and accounted for. This system will enhance transparency by facilitating direct payments to the beneficiaries and automating deductions owed to the federal government. By centralizing these processes, the government aims to minimize inefficiencies and potential for mismanagement, thereby strengthening financial oversight and accountability. Central to the strategy is the Government Integrated Financial Management Information System, GIFMIS, along with complementary non-GIFMIS platforms. These systems will play a pivotal role in monitoring revenue generation across various sectors and entities under federal ownership. They are designed to provide a consolidated dashboard that offers real-time insights into revenue inflows and outflows, ensuring that financial decisions are based on accurate and up-to-date data. The stakeholder engagement meeting saw participation from key figures and entities crucial to the success of this initiative. Notable attendees included the Special Advisor to the President on Energy, the Special Advisor to the President on ICT, representatives from the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation, and the Nigeria Interbank Settlement System, NIBS. Their presence underscored the collaborative nature of the efforts, highlighting the importance of cross-sectoral coordination in achieving the government's financial management objectives. This concerted approach reflects the federal government's commitment to modernizing its financial systems and strengthening governance frameworks. By leveraging advanced technological solutions and fostering interagency collaboration, the government aims to not only enhance transparency and accountability, but also to optimize revenue collection and utilization. These efforts are pivotal in ensuring that public resources are managed efficiently to support sustainable economic growth and development initiatives across Nigeria. As implementation of these reforms progresses, ongoing monitoring and evaluation will be essential to assess their impact and address any emerging challenges. Through continuous refinement and adaptation, the federal government seeks to build a resilient financial ecosystem that instills confidence among stakeholders and contributes to Nigeria's overall economic stability and prosperity. This initiative marks a significant step forward in the federal government's drive towards achieving greater financial transparency, accountability, and prudent fiscal management. Stakeholders in Nigeria's transportation sector are intensifying calls for the privatization of the Nigerian Railway Corporation (NRC), following a series of train derailments that have raised serious safety concerns across the country. These appeals come in the wake of 3 derailments occurring within a span of just 2 weeks, prompting renewed scrutiny over the management and operational standards of the NRC. Roland Ataguba, the managing director of Bethlehem Rail Infrastructure Limited, voiced grave apprehensions about the frequency of train derailment, particularly alarming given the relatively low volume of road traffic in Nigeria. 3 derailments in 2 weeks is cause for concern, given a relatively low rail traffic, Ataguba emphasized. He criticized the failure to implement previous recommendations for electronic surveillance and motion detection systems along the Abuja-Kaduna Railway, which could have potentially averted such incidents. Ataguba also highlighted the absence of fencing along railway tracks, making them susceptible to unauthorized access, a vulnerability that a private operator motivated by profitability and efficiency would likely address more vigorously. Advocating for the privatization of NRC, Ataguba argued that private operators would bring superior management capabilities and a proactive approach to securing railway infrastructure, crucial for ensuring safety and reliability. A private operator would take a more proactive approach to securing the railway as their business depends on it, he emphasized, urging the government to consider this step to enhance rail operations nationwide. Transport expert Olumide Ohunayo echoed Ataguba's concerns, criticizing the current management of NRC as impediment to operational excellence. Ohunayo asserted that privatization would attract much-needed investments, improve operational efficiency, and restore public confidence in train services across Nigeria. On ATN socials, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, X, formerly Twitter, atlanticnetwork.tv. You can also watch us live on our website, atlanticnetwork.tv. The World Bank stands as a testament to international cooperation and transformative potential of digital identification and advancing social inclusion and governance effectiveness. The ongoing commitment of the World Bank and other partners underscores their confidence in Nigeria's capacity to leverage digital innovations for sustainable development and equitable access to public services. The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, recently announced a notable surge in direct remittances, highlighting a $172 million increase in just 1 month. Analyzing the latest data from January to May 2024, remittance figures showed a steady climb: $138.56 million in January, $39.14 million in February, $104.90 million in March, $193.31 million in April, and a substantial leap to $365.44 million in May. This surge from April to May alone marked a remarkable 90% increase, underscoring a robust growth trend in foreign currency inflows that totaled a striking 163% increase from January to May. The rise in remittance inflows is a pivotal development for Nigeria's economy, arriving at a crucial juncture amidst escalating external debt obligations and efforts to diversify revenue streams. It reflects concerted efforts by the CBN to bolster foreign exchange earnings through formal channels, a strategy aimed at stabilizing the economy and mitigating fiscal vulnerabilities. In response to challenges impeding remittance flows, the CBN recently greenlit 14 new international money transfer operators, IMTOs, and signaling a commitment to streamline processes and eliminate bottlenecks. This initiative is part of broader regulatory reforms that have progressively opened up the remittance sector. In January 2024, the CBN lifted the exchange rate cap previously imposed on IMTOs, introducing greater flexibility in currency quoting. Complemented by revised operational guidelines and increased licenses fees for IMTOs, these regulatory adjustments underscore the CBN's efforts to enhance operational standards and financial requirements within the sector. Sidi Ali, the Acting Director of Corporate Communications at the CBN, emphasized the bank's dedication to facilitating smoother remittance transactions, stating, "We are committed to removing any bottlenecks hindering flows through formal channels permanently. Our approach is methodical, working closely with key stakeholders in the remittance industry to ensure sustained progress." The significance of these measures is magnified by Nigeria's fiscal landscape, where recent reports indicate substantial expenditures on debt servicing amounting to $2.18 billion between January and May 2024. The infusion of remittance inflows thus assumes a critical role in augmenting foreign exchange reserves and mitigating the burden of external debts. Moreover, the increase in remittance earnings aligns with Nigeria's broader economic objectives of reducing dependence on oil revenues. Despite ongoing domestic borrowing, the country faces considerable external debt servicing obligations, necessitating robust foreign exchange inflows to stabilize its economic outlook. Shadrach Israel, an economic expert at Lotus Beta Analytics, emphasized the effectiveness of recent regulatory reforms and strategic initiatives by the CBN, noting that the substantial increase in direct remittances to Nigeria underscores improvements in transparency and efficiency within the remittance sector. These efforts not only strengthen Nigeria's economic resilience, but also contribute significantly to navigating global economic uncertainties. Looking ahead, sustained collaboration between the CBN and IMTOs is expected to maintain the positive momentum in remittance inflows, offering a vital buffet against fiscal pressures and supporting ongoing economic reforms. As Nigeria continues to navigate economic challenges and external debt dynamics, the resilience of remittance inflows provides a critical pathways towards achieving fiscal stability and sustainable economic growth. In conclusion, the recent surge in direct remittances in Nigeria underscores the transformative impact of regulatory reforms and strategic partnerships in fortifying the economy against external shocks. With ongoing efforts to enhance remittance channels and diversify revenue sources, Nigeria is poised to leverage these inflows to bolster foreign exchange reserves and mitigate fiscal vulnerabilities, positioning itself for long-term economic resilience and prosperity. Governor Olayemi Cardoso of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, recently highlighted significant progress in the country's economic stability and foreign exchange management. In an interview with correspondents, Cardoso noted a promising reduction in inflationary pressures, attributing it to the CBN's stringent policy measures aimed at curbing Nigeria's current inflation rate of 33.69%. Cardoso revealed that Nigeria had recorded a substantial foreign exchange inflow of approximately $24 billion in the first quarter of 2024. This figure represents a notable 50% increase compared to previous quarters up to 2021, signaling growing confidence and investment in Nigeria's financial markets. Under Cardoso's leadership since September 2023, the CBN has implemented a series of reforms to restore orthodox monetary policies. These efforts have included a significant hike in interest rates by 750 basis points to 26.25%, clearance of a $7 billion foreign exchange backlog, and an overhaul of exchange rate policies with updated guidelines. As a result, the Nigerian naira has stabilized within a narrow trading range, reflecting improved market confidence. Despite these measures, concerns persist among Nigerians regarding the high cost of basic commodities, which have not yet shown signs of decreasing despite the economic stabilization efforts. However, Cardoso remains optimistic, noting a deceleration in month-on-month inflation rates as a positive indicator of progress. The CBN's Monetary Policy Committee, MPC, continues to closely monitor inflation trends, emphasizing inflation as a significant obstacle to Nigeria's economic future. Cardoso affirmed the MPC's commitment to maintaining inflation control through ongoing policy adjustments and vigilance. Looking forward, Cardoso refrained from speculating on the end of the current tightening cycle initiated in May 2022, asserting that future policy decisions would hinge on forthcoming economic data and market conditions. He stressed the MPC's data-driven approach and independence in making decisions to manage inflation effectively. Regarding foreign exchange stability, Cardoso highlighted the CBN's success to reducing volatility in the exchange market, noting a significant improvement in market stability over recent weeks. He attributed this achievement to strategic interventions and reforms aimed at restoring confidence and liquidity in the foreign exchange markets. In further efforts to enhance foreign exchange inflows, particularly from diaspora remittances, the CBN has established a committee dedicated to increasing these inflows through official channels. This initiative aims to leverage diaspora contributions effectively to bolster liquidity and stabilize the naira. While acknowledging positive feedback on the CBN's policy, criticism remains among economic analysts and stakeholders regarding the practical impact on everyday Nigerians. Critics argued that the benefits of economic stabilization measures must translate into tangible improvements in living standards and affordability of essential goods for the average citizen. In conclusion, Governor Cardoso's insights underscored the CBN's proactive stance in navigating Nigeria's economic challenges. Despite progress in inflation, as the CBN continues to implement the refine of policies, the focus remains on achieving sustainable economic stability and resilience in the face of global economic uncertainties. You're watching Atn Business on Atlantic Television Network. We will be back after this break. Just stay tuned.
Every day, our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics,
Nobody's ambition is what the blood.
I have fought a very family.
natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody, and I belong to nobody.
Atn
people into the country illegally. That is amazing. You human trafficker.
They are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
So no agreement with the EU, but
from the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
Welcome back to ATN Business on Atlantic Television Network. Now to the rest of our stories. The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, recently made a significant announcement regarding the access of eligible international money transfers operators IMTOs to its official foreign exchange FX window. This policy change, effective immediately upon its announcement through a circular signed by Dr. W.J. Kanya, Acting Director of the Trade and Exchange Department, represents a strategic move aimed at enhancing the efficiency and liquidity in the Nigerian FX market, particularly for the settlement of diaspora remittances. Under this new directive, IMTOs now have direct access to Naira liquidity at the CBN's official FX window. This access facilitates timely settlement of diaspora remittances, addressing a critical aspect of Nigeria's financial landscape. The CBN emphasized that these measures are designed to broaden the scope of access to local currency liquidity, especially for remittance settlement. The circular outlines that eligible IMTO operators can access the CBN window either directly or through their authorized dealer banks to execute transactions involving the sale of foreign exchange. Notably, transactions executed and confirmed before noon or on any trading day are eligible for same-day settlement, providing a streamlined process for foreign exchange transactions. Regarding pricing, transactions with the CBN will be conducted based on prevailing NAFEM rates, leveraging observable and acceptable market benchmarks. This aligns the operation of the IMTO segment with existing practices for authorized dealers participating in primary market securities auctions. Regulatory compliance is also a key focus, with mandatory daily submission of regulatory returns to the CBN by all participants. These returns are expected to comprehensively document the sources of funds and the entities involved, namely IMTOs, authorized dealer banks, and the CBN itself. Prior to this development, the Nigerian foreign exchange market primarily involved the CBN, authorized dealers, licensed financial institutions trading foreign exchange, and clients, individual or corporate entities conducting foreign exchange transactions for various needs. This expansion to include IMTOs represents a significant diversification in market participants, potentially bolstering liquidity and efficiency in the foreign exchange market. In a related development, CBN Governor Olayemi Cardoso addressed the state of Naira volatility in an interview with correspondents, expressing confidence that the worst of the volatility had passed. He highlighted ongoing efforts to optimize market operations and ensure optimal value through strategic interventions. Cardoso emphasized the central bank's commitment to maintaining macroeconomic stability, acknowledging the continuous nature of these efforts and the need for vigilance in managing economic fundamentals. He underscored the central bank's proactive stance in leveraging available tools to achieve sustainable economic outcomes. In conclusion, the CBN's decision to grant IMTOs access to its official foreign exchange window marks a pivotal step in enhancing the operational framework of Nigeria's foreign exchange market. By facilitating easier access to Naira liquidity for diaspora remittance settlement, the CBN aims to foster greater market participation, liquidity, and overall stability in the Nigerian financial system. This move underscores the CBN's commitment to adapting and evolving its policies to meet the dynamic needs of the economy while maintaining robust regulatory oversight. Global markets showed mixed movement on Wednesday, with shares in Europe and Asia seeing varied performances driven by sector-specific news and economic data. In Europe, Major indices saw modest gains despite earlier volatility. Germany's DAX rose by 0.8% to reach 18,482.00, indicating positive sentiment among investors. Similarly, France's CAC 40 edged up by 0.1% to 7,672.76, while London's FTSE 100 climbed 0.5% to settle at 8,291.45. These gains reflected cautious optimism amidst ongoing global economic uncertainties. Across the Atlantic, futures for the S&P 500 increased by 0.2%, indicating a tentative recovery following recent fluctuations. Conversely, futures for the Dow Jones Industrial Average remained relatively unchanged, reflecting market indecision amid varied economic indicators. Asian markets saw more pronounced movement, with Japan's Nikkei surging 1.3% to close at 39,666.07. This rally was propelled by strong demand for technology shares, buoyed by Nvidia's rebound and the broader enthusiasm for artificial intelligence applications. Key tech stocks like Tokyo Electron and Advantest Core recorded significant gains, contributing to the Nikkei's robust performance. Additionally, Shin-Etsu Chemical Co. posted a 1.5% increase, further bolstering market sentiment. Meanwhile, in currency markets, the dollar experienced slight gains against the Japanese yen, rising to 159.89 yen from 159.70 yen. This movement prompted concerns among Japanese officials about potential market intervention to stabilize the yen's exchange rate, underscoring ongoing volatility in foreign exchange markets. The euro, on the other hand, dipped slightly to $1.0695 from $1.0717, reflecting broader currency fluctuations amid global economic uncertainties. Chinese shares rebounded after an initial sluggish start, with Hong Kong's Hang Seng edging 0.1% higher to 18,089.93, and the Shanghai Composite Index climbing 0.8% to 2,972.53. These gains highlighted renewed investor confidence following recent market adjustments. In Australia, the S&P ASX 200 experienced a modest decline of 0.7% to 7,783.00, reflecting regional market dynamics amidst global economic developments. Conversely, shares in Taiwan and India saw gains of 0.5% and 0.7% respectively, underscoring regional variations in market performance. On Tuesday, Wall Street exhibited mixed results, with the S&P 500 rising 0.4%, while the Dow Jones Industrial Average, excluding Nvidia's influence, fell by 0.8%. The Nasdaq Composite posted a notable 1.3% gain, driven by Nvidia's 6.8% increase following a recent downturn. Nvidia's rebound was crucial in offsetting broader market weaknesses and maintaining positive momentum in the tech sector. Looking ahead, investors remain cautiously optimistic amidst ongoing economic uncertainties and geopolitical tensions. The Federal Reserve's stance on interest rates continues to influence market sentiment, with expectations for potential rate cuts to mitigate economic slowdown risks. Crude oil prices also saw slight gains, with U.S. benchmark crude rising by 57 cents to $81.40 per barrel, reflecting energy market dynamics. Overall, global markets is through a complex landscape of economic indicators and sector-specific development, with investor sentiment influenced by evolving geopolitical factors and central bank policies. When U.S. Treasury yields climbed as investors assessed recent statements from Federal Reserve officials on monetary policy and awaited upcoming economic indicators. As of 3:56 a.m. Eastern Time, the 10-year Treasury yield increased by over 3 basis points to reach 4.2728%, while the 2-year Treasury yield stood at 4.7306%, up nearly 4 basis points. Yields and bond prices move inversely. Each basis point equates to 0.01%. Federal Reserve Governor Michelle Bowman emphasized on Tuesday that the central bank was not prepared to reduce rates, stressing the importance of sustained inflation easing towards the Fed's 2% target before such actions could be deemed appropriate. Bowman also maintained the possibility of future rate hikes contingent upon inflation trends. Conversely, Fed Governor Lisa Cook anticipated minimal inflation change for the year ahead but projected a down in inflation rates for the following year. Investors awaited pivotal economic data scheduled for including the Personal Consumption Expenditure PCE price index on Friday. The PCE serves as a critical gauge of inflation for the Fed, shaping policymakers' assessment of economic conditions and potential adjustment to interest rates. Market participants were also attentive to today's economic agenda, which included reports of durable goods orders, pending home sales, and weekly initial jobless claims. Additionally, a final assessment of the first quarter's gross domestic product GDP for the U.S. was slated for release, influencing market sentiment and expectations. In May, U.S. crude oil imports surged to their highest levels in nearly 2 years, driven by strategic push by American refiners to stock up on heavy crudes from Canada and Latin America. These imports totaling 3.1 per day marked a significant increase from previous months and reflected refiners' preparations for the upcoming summer driving season by ship tracking service Kepler. The robust imports trend continued into June, maintaining a strong pace around 2.9 million barrels per day. Despite the spike in crude oil imports, domestic fuel demand in the U.S. remained subdued. Data from the U.S. Energy Information Administration EIA indicated that gasoline products supplied averaged 9.1 million barrels per day for the week in June 14, slightly below the 10-year seasonal average. Similarly, the supply of distillate fuel oil hovered around 3.7 million barrels per day, approximately 3% lower than the seasonal average. The increase in crude oil imports was particularly notable from Canada, where imports reached 319,000 barrels per day in May, marking the highest level in 2.5 years. This uptick was largely driven by through the expanded Trans Mountain pipeline, which facilitated increased shipments to the U.S. West Coast. Compared to the same period last year, Canadian imports saw a substantial 39% increase. Additionally, imports from Mexico, Guyana, and Colombia also saw significant rises during the month. Guyana's crude oil exports hit a record 99,000 barrels per day, while Colombian imports reached near 2-year highs. Imports from Mexico, managed by state oil company Pemex, rebounded following brief export cuts earlier in the year. Rohit Rathod, a market analyst at energy researcher Vortexa, attributed the surge in U.S. crude imports partly to adjustments in Mexican exports. Pemex had initially scaled back exports in April, prompting U.S. refiners to seek alternative sources such as Colombia and Canada. However, weaker than anticipated demand from Pemex's domestic refineries led to the cancellation of planned export reductions for May, thereby U.S. imports from Mexico to 624,000 barrels per day, the highest level recorded this year. Among the top importers in May were major U.S. refining companies, Marathon Petroleum, Valero Energy, and Phillips 66, according to these firms strategically procured crude to optimize their refining processes and demand for petroleum products during the summer months. The dynamics of the U.S. crude oil market underscored a complex interplay between international supply chains and domestic demand fluctuations. While refiners positioned themselves with increased imports to ensure adequate crude supply, the tepid fuel demand in the U.S. posed challenges in balancing inventory levels and refining output